My friends Chandler and Monica started dating, but secretly. Yes, those friends, but work with me here. So they go on their first romantic weekend away and have a real fight over Monica's insistence on several room changes and Chandler's preoccupation with a high-speed car chase. They have a huge row and Monica storms out. Back to the city, Chandler comes to Monica, hat in hand, and says, well, I guess that's over. Why exactly? Well, the weekend, we had a fight. Chandler, that's crazy. If you give up every time you have a fight with somebody, you wouldn't be with anyone longer than, oh. See, Chandler's string of unsuccessful relationships wasn't just because he had issues with his dad or he was insecure. Chandler thought a fight was the end. And don't we think that too? That conflict means disconnection and trouble and the end. But what if it didn't have to be that? Communication researchers Canary, Kupak, and Messman write that conflict is a natural, ongoing aspect of healthy relationships. They say that it's inevitable. So what do we do with the inevitability of conflict? What if we could shift this Chandler conflict paradigm, completely disrupt the narrative that conflict means disconnection and trouble and the end? That conflict is actually an opportunity. Conflict is an opportunity for what we long for deeply in our hearts. Conflict is an opportunity for the very thing it feels like it isn't. Peace. Today, I want you to see conflict as the opportunity for peace. I know, that sounds crazy. And you're probably having one or a mix of these reactions right now. First one, just at the mention of conflict, you want to moonwalk out of here. Can't we just have peace and harmony and joy? Or maybe you are emotionally worked up, tightened abs, racing heart, clenched jaws, shoulders as earrings. Oh, you are ready to run or ready to fight. Or maybe you've put your emotions over here in a box. There is an idea on the table, and you would like data to demonstrate this idea is valid and beneficial. Dispassionately, you say, prove it. And all of these are natural, normal, human responses. Me? I naturally fall into camp one. I just want things to be happy. I don't like pain and conflict. And here's the thing, most people don't. The ones who do are all on Twitter. Okay, I'm kidding about the Twitterers, but we're getting worse at conflict. Pew Research published 2 separate studies showing Americans are more divided and extreme than just 20 years earlier. And that the overwhelming majority of Americans feel that political debate in the country has become more negative, less respectful, and less fact-based than before. So maybe the US is an anomaly in these types of divisions. Let's look internationally. The Carnegie Endowment for International Peace studied multiple countries: Brazil, Bangladesh, Colombia, Kenya, India, Indonesia, Poland, and the United States. In these countries that have diverse cultures, varied histories, and governments, the comprehensive case studies from Carnegie showed that the divides are greater and growing in every single one. Could it be that we don't know what to do with conflict globally because we don't know what to do with it individually either? I mean, I feel that. Don't you feel that too? Governance has become gradually less effective. Communities are in turmoil. Leaders are exhausted and burning out. Employees are leaving. Friendships are disappearing. Marriages are dissolving. All across the spectrum, people are hurting and broken because we don't know what to do with conflict. What if we could turn this tide? What if it didn't have to be this way? I mean, I deeply know the pain of this way. Come with me to a parking garage where my friend and I are rehashing a horrific team meeting. I'm in my dream job and I'm sitting on the bumper of my minivan sobbing to a friend. And I said to her, I don't fit this culture anymore. He's going to fire me. And she said, if you don't fit this culture anymore, it's because conflict has destroyed this culture. And she was right. Unresolved conflict at work had stolen 2 years of our lives. And at that moment, looking at the grimy bumper's dirt smudging my navy blue dress, I felt the weight of mismanaged, mishandled conflict. And a week later, I lost my job because of it, along with precious relationships and a community I adored. What have you lost because conflict has been mismanaged and mishandled? We've all lost because conflict has been avoided or rushed or just done badly. After that, I decided that the pain of broken relationships and loss hurt more than the pain of conflict. So I got a little curious about it. And I graduated with a master's in communication and culture. I studied conflict resolution and peacemaking. I studied self-awareness and became a certified coach. I've talked with countless teams and leaders. And from all of that learning and the hive mind of clients and teams and audiences, I want you to know this powerful truth, that without facing conflict, the relationship ends. I mean, that's what Chandler thought. But we have to face conflict in order for it to be the opportunity for peace. We can't go over it. We can't go under it. We can't go around it. We have to go through it. It's like that children's rhyme, going on a bear hunt. Can't go over it. Can't go under it. What are we gonna do? Gotta go through it. The way to peace is through conflict. And just to pile on a little bit more, conflict might actually be the sign of a connected relationship. Dr. Ramani Durvasala, a narcissism expert and clinical psychologist, writes that when fighting goes away completely, one or both partners has checked out. I mean, think about that. Consider, why go through all the pain if you're not connected? Why bother? This is true in marriages, in friendships, and organizations. Patrick Lencioni is an organizational health consultant, created a pyramid model of a cohesive team. At the base of the model is trust. And before we get to commitment and accountability and light years before results is healthy conflict. Healthy conflict is part of the very fabric of a cohesive team and a connected relationship. So I have a client, Jill, senior executive, been working remotely, and she told me about a huge fight in her personal life about a toaster. So Jill walks into the kitchen and there's that shiny red toaster just sitting there on the counter. Ugh, she's already put it away twice today. Do you have stuff like that in your shared spaces? Shoes, tea mugs, papers on the kitchen, counter, table, all strewn about. Jill stamps her foot and groans. Her partner asks, is there something wrong? Yes, I've put the toaster away twice today and I've already made toast once and it's out again. So to save you the rest of the conversation, which I'm betting you can imagine, Jill and her partner go back and forth about who does what and why and when in their household. Finally, Jill blurts out, I'm so tired of doing all the invisible work. You have to put forth minimal effort and just assume I'm going to pick up the slack. Oh, was it really about a shiny red toaster? Dr. Elizabeth Hornstall phrases it like this: healthy conflict in a relationship reveals the core issues: lack of appreciation, division of labor. Not just the surface issues, the shiny red toaster. Healthy conflict resolution is at the very core of our interactions. And as much as we would like to have somebody else do it for us, I'm sure Chandler and Jill's partner would have loved to have outsourced that conflict resolution. You go figure it out, come back and tell me. We can't push away our conflict resolution. No one can do it for you. If you keep conflict at arm's length, you're like Teflon. Nothing sticks to Teflon, which is great for my eggs, but not great for real relationships. Teflon isn't peace and wholeness. Teflon is slick and shiny. It's designed to repel. And if you keep conflict at arm's length, you are repelling all that makes relationships real and rich and whole. Your relationships will rise and fall on your ability to handle conflict. Okay, so how do we handle it? What do we do? How do we actually start resolving the conflict? So conflict resolution is first a posture and then a set of skills. A posture that says it's the two of us or the team of us against the problem out there, the shiny red toaster issues and the core issues in our relationship. And those issues are caused by the struggle between limited resources and differing goals. And when we're in this posture, we can figure out what are the limited resources and differing goals, because now we're in a posture of creativity and curiosity. A posture where we can ask questions to solve this limited resources, differing goals issue. Questions that will move us through the conflict, not around it. I always like to ask 3 types of questions. What do you think? How do you feel? And what do you want to do? These 3 question buckets, what do you think, how do you feel, and what do you want to do, can unlock the answers that move us through conflict to peace. So I like to ask myself, what do I think about this? What are my reasons about this? What is my information? What information do I have? What information am I missing? What assumptions am I making? What do I think about this? And then what do I feel about this? How do I feel about this? What are my emotions? Am I anxious, concerned, frustrated, hopeless, foolish, afraid? How do I feel? And then what do I want to do? What are the actions I want to take to resolve this issue? What are the actions that got us here? What is my role? What were my actions that got us here? How do I want to act to resolve and get us out? What do I want to do? And then you can ask the other person these same 3 questions. What do you think? How do you feel? And what do you want to do? And then here's the really important part. You have to listen for the answers. What do you think? How do you feel? And what do you want to do? Open up a back and forth that leads to creativity and problem solving, but also connection. And it's messy. I can stand here and say it really simply. Have this posture. What do you think? How do you feel? What do you want to do? But it's really complicated and messy work because people are complicated and messy, including you, including me. But people are worth it. Your peace is worth it. Because if you avoid conflict, you manufacture fake peace. Chandler and Monica didn't end their relationship that day. They went on to get married and had plenty of fights along the way about cameras and houses and moving to Oklahoma. But what they learned is that they were a team together, building the life and connected relationship they wanted. Imagine what would change if we saw conflict not as disconnection and trouble and the end, but as the opportunity we need. What could happen globally? What would happen in our governments, in our communities? What would happen in our workplaces, in our families, in our homes? We have the opportunity to see conflict as good. We have the opportunity to see conflict as an opportunity for goodness, because conflict is the only way to peace.